Good morning. How are you doing today, Mark?
Oh, we're doing awesome. We're out here in Central Arkansas. Sorry about the wind if it's in the background.
Oh, no, no problem. I can't hear it at all. I know it's pretty windy out there right now, so it'll be expected to hear some wind out there. So I got us up here live. We got a few viewers already. Let's go ahead and just jump in and let's see if whoops, I'm sorry. I'm getting this all set up here for us. Let's jump in and get started. So those watching who don't know who you are, Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Mark with Ram Detecting. We just started our channel here first part of the year, basically because my father-in-law and my dad and some of our other family members and friends, they're always asking, what are we digging? What are we doing? So I figured that'd be a good way to show everybody. And it's kind of just taken off from there.
Okay. And how long have you been detecting for?
Funny, my wife said she's going to ask you how long you've been detecting. Well, I started about 11 years ago. My wife bought me an Ace 250. No, it's an Ace 150.
Okay.
It seems like everybody starts with an Ace, I think.
Yep.
But so we went to a beach trip, I think Panama City. So I think it's where we went. And, I found the, nickels and dimes and stuff like that. And I really just pulled it out every now and then, played with the kids. And in 2014, I found out I had kidney cancer. And so I had to have surgery, and I was laid up for a good while. And I started watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. And my wife, she's a nurse practitioner, and she come in one day and she said, well, one of the people she met were a member of this group on Facebook. And so I just got on there and started on it, and it kind of just like fueled that obsession. So when I was able to get out, I started, hitting metal parks and stuff. And then I really started getting into Civil War stuff. And it just like went on from there, and, upgraded machines and things like that.
What type of machines do you have now? Do you have more than one or?
I got two right now. Like I said, I started with the Ace, and then I went to a 250, and then I like played around with the little bounty hunter that I had, Quicksilver, and then I got an AT Pro.
Okay.
And I used it for a good while, and just let's see, maybe it was the first part of this year, before pre COVID. I bought a Simplex from you guys,
Okay.
and been loving that thing. I love all the features. To me, it's the best of both worlds there. And so I used that primarily. But here recently, I won a Time Ranger Pro from Instagram, from the Bounty Hunter people.
Okay.
So that's their new, the Time Ranger Pro. It basically, I think it's basically the F-19, just kind of slimmed down a little bit. The Fisher.
Gotcha.
It runs at 19 kilohertz, I think. And I really love that thing. I went to a big hunt here a couple weeks ago, and I brought that little bounty hunter. People were looking at me like, what were you out here with that thing for? But it's light, fast, at a different frequency. So I really have been enjoying that machine.
That's awesome.
That's what I use.
Well, let me jump over here for a second. Stephen Patterson from Southern Relics says hello. Todd Aubrey says, good morning. Happy Veterans Day to the vets and current service members. I do want to take a moment here and thank everybody who has served in our military or is currently active in the military. This day is about you, and we really thank you for everything that you have done for this country. And then Grant Shelley says, good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? I'm doing great, and I'm sure Mark's doing great over there too.
So, we're doing good. Yeah. All the veterans, that's always in our minds and hearts here.
Absolutely. So you're over there in Arkansas, so that really is a good spot to do some Civil War hunting.
Yeah, this is, probably the most western edge. There's a little bit in Texas, maybe a little bit in Oklahoma there, but Arkansas is where a lot of stuff went down, and especially in my area, I'm lucky enough to have close to the old rail line that run from Little Rock to Memphis. And so they were always guarding that rail line. So there's camps everywhere along this area. So we're really in a good spot for that.
When am I coming up to hunt with you?
Anytime you want. Always something.
It's hard down here in Florida. I mean, we do have Civil War activity, there is, but it's not as much as some of the other states. It really does take a lot of, diving in and doing your research to be able to get somewhere. We have a Seminole War down here.
Yeah. We don't have Spanish silver floating up on the beaches here, though.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this hurricane out there is crazy right now. It's just stirring up the coast, and I'm like itching to get out there. The stuff that I'm hearing coming off of the coast, I'm like, what am I doing sitting here at work? I need to be out with a detector right now. So,
I sneak that in the bag, and I'm like, whenever the kids are playing, I'm on it.
Let's see. Russ says hello. So does Tom and Shannon Copeland, Little Dirt Diggers. And Todd wants to know, what part of Arkansas are you
in? Central Arkansas. We're just probably 30 miles east of Little Rock.
Okay.
We're kind of but that's primarily where we're at.
Okay.
I seen a Little Dirt Digger, half of a belt plate, I think, the other day.
I know. I saw that too. I'm like, man, I'm still trying to get one. But got that luck.
That's number one on my bucket list. I mean, I've been fortunate enough, lots and lots of bullets and buttons and various other things, but that plate has eluded me. So I'm man, I get excited anytime anyone digs one of those up. I get really excited. My wife's, what do you? And I have to show them. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen so many more breastplates and buckles and belt plates, like everything coming up this year. And I think it's just because more people are out with the COVID, doing more detecting. I mean, it seems like every time I scroll through my Facebook page, somebody's finding one. I'm like, man, this is my year. I got to get on some properties so I can find one.
It really is, and I think that it's really helped the community and the sport, if you want to call it a sport, of metal detecting, because I think more people's getting out and they get on their phone and Google what's a good thing to do, and that pops up, and they're like me, few videos and they're hooked. So it's awesome, and that and the I believe the detectors are just getting better and better, and that's the reason people are pulling up these kind of things, I believe.
Absolutely. And I think they just want to get out and do something. So maybe they would have spent 2 hours digging before. And now it's like, okay, I can't go do anything else. Let me spend 4 hours. So something they might have just left laying there. They're spending that extra time out there.
Well, me, I'm usually run and gun when I get to go metal detecting. Like I said, we have 6 children at the moment here at the house. And so that keeps us pretty busy. So, whenever I usually try to take time once a week to go do something related to it. But it's kind of hard sometimes.
Do the kids get out, or your wife get out and do any detecting with you?
I stay at home with the kids and we homeschool.
Okay.
So and the wife, whenever she's off, she's pretty wore out, or she wants to go do something. So we do that. She's been with me a few times. She really likes going to parks.
Okay.
And doing spots and finding that stuff and filming for me. But she's really she's been really supported and super helpful with me and all my video stuff. And she actually got me tickets to an event here a while back she just surprised me and said, "You're going this weekend." I was like, whoa. So she's really been sweet. Now the kids, the little ones really like it. My 10-year-old, she's kind of like it, but about my 4-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old son, they really like it, and he just got a one of those little bounty hunter junior metal detectors, and we're kind of sweeping the woods here the other day, and he gets really excited anytime he finds anything.
That's cool. I like seeing kids get so enthusiastic. I mean, I think that maybe they have a little bit more patience because maybe it's just the inexperience or something, and they're just digging. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been out with little 5, 8-year-olds, and then they pull up something so credible and they're like, is this any good? And I'm like, holy cow. Beginner's luck, maybe. I don't know.
That's awesome. We had a little hunt this past weekend out here at my place, and there were several war bullets that were donated to us, and I had them in like Ziploc bags, and we just went yesterday just to play around and see if anybody missed anything, and we pulled up one of those little bullets with a Ziploc bag, and my son thought it was. He said, one of those Civil War soldiers dropped this out here. I was like, he dropped it in that plastic bag, buddy? He's like, yeah.
That's awesome. That's one of the things I like with seeing the kids and stuff. And Emily's a great example too, because I mean, she knows her history. And I just think that's so cool to see kids interested in the history. I remember we did this little thing at a community center, and we were giving away little we were teaching the kids about metal detecting, and as prizes or being volunteers, we gave them the bullets. And I remember this one kid, he was about 11 years old and didn't know much about it. And when he explained what it was and everything, he got so excited about it. And his grandpa metal detected. So he got a machine, and him and his grandpa go out metal detecting. And he's like turned the way that he thinks about history and absolutely loves history now. And it was all started with that one little bullet, which was amazing.
Exactly. So we got a lot of background noise. Sorry.
That's okay. Todd says that his parents and sisters live in Ozark, Arkansas. And then
I think that's north
of you. And Eric Reed says, good morning from Virginia. And Jerry Henson, he's a local here. He's part of the club I belong to, really good detectorist. And he says good morning as well.
Morning, everybody.
So when you're out doing your Civil War hunting and stuff, Mark, what's one of your most memorable digs?
It might be the first. I really got two.
Okay.
But the first one may be my first bullet I ever found because it was unexpected. I had this permission for this site, but I hadn't gone out there really yet, and I had permission for this lot, just it was an empty church lot. What it was, the church was built in like 1906, and the owners let me go out there anytime I want. I kind of grew up with around them, and so they're really gracious enough to let me do that. But anyway, I found a bunch of stuff from that era, early 1900s, and then all of a sudden I pull up a 3-ringer, and I'm like, what? So I researched before that for my other site, which wasn't too far from there, and come to find out there was a camp probably 2 blocks from that lot, and that was probably, I was so excited I about fainted in that lot because I found my first 3-ringer. And the other, I was at that other permission. It was a camp kind of along that railroad that I was telling you. It was actually they had a fort there, and the Confederates attacked it. But I found my first button out there, and I kind of got a little bit of video on my channel of that. I wasn't filming that day, but I had my phone with me, and I just kind of did a short. I thought I was going to really. I was crying in the middle of the woods because, that's, and I don't know what I'd do if I found a buckle like Little Digger there.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do either. I'm afraid I have to have a friend with me because they might have to call 911.
Plate or a buckle or anything like that. I have found parts of a gun barrel out there and stuff like that, but that brass, that's always there in the back of your mind. Any Coke can signal, I'm digging it. There's no telling how many I've dug.
And it's so funny. The thing I like about detecting is you can know your detector like the back of your hand. You can know what's going to be in that hole before you dig it. But it's still, you could be 100% certain that that's going to be a Coke can, but still you're just like, this could be it. This could be the big one. And it's just this constant adrenaline rush.
Those pull tabs signals get me every time because it always could be some gold. Or I'll beep when we get. I have a little one that always is with me, and he's not really talking that good yet, but I'll beep it and I'll say, "I bet you that's aluminum, buddy," and he'll be aluminum. And but yeah, sometimes knowing your machine really good will get you also because that's just a piece of aluminum or a piece of something else, and you skip it because you think it's trash. But I tell you, more times than not, I've dug it and it's been something cool.
Yep, it's like even though you know what it is, it's like unless you're dead tired, you've been out for 8 hours and can't swing no more. It's like I try to dig all those signals and I've surprised myself. Like we were at this site, an amazing site. It used to be a boarding house back in the day and it had burnt down. Everything got plowed over and it was on like 2 lots over. But we were finding incredible finds there. And I was getting an iron signal, and there were so many just pieces of iron from the old homestead. And I was like, I'm going to dig it all because I got to clear it out, because I had unlimited access to this permission. So, of course, I'm going to dig everything to get to the good stuff. So, I was digging and I pulled up this piece of rusted iron, had no idea what it was. And I started looking at it, and it was a cast iron toy train. There would have been 2 parts to it, and I had one side of it. And if I wasn't digging that iron, I probably would have just walked past it. And it's a really cool find. I've got it in the display case because I mean everything was iron back there, and iron tells you a lot of in the ground what's going to be there. So
I always dig, especially if I get any kind of larger iron signal. I always dig it because I love finding old axe heads and stuff like that. Trying to redo them. That's one of my favorite things. Dunking them in an electrolysis bath or vinegar or something, and just cleaning them up and putting them back on a handle. I love it.
Absolutely. Now, when you're looking and do you primarily do door knocking when you're out looking for permissions? Do you have any techniques that you use?
I don't, and especially right now, I don't know about door knocking.
Yeah.
So mainly the way I first started, and I get this question asked all the time, especially on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Where do I start? Always start in your yard or your family. That's the easiest access you're going to get. Start with your family and your friends and work out from there. And I think on the last Coffee with Kellyco, Marcus, you guys were talking about the same thing. Go find the the people in the community that would know about the history there. Go to your local museum, talk to the old timers. They know where stuff was, and most of the time they can. If they don't own it, somebody they know who does, and you can get some really awesome permissions like that. I've gotten several just by posting up on our local museum page. Hey, this is what I found in our hometown, and I would love to come see what's in your yard. But right now, door knocking, people is really leery, so I don't do a lot of that. If I catch somebody out in the yard, I might say, hey. Mainly, that's the way I gain access to stuff.
So Shannon Copeland has a good tip for you for door knocking. He said, take your kid with you to the door and knock. It works. So I guess that helps get a lot of permissions.
Well, load everybody up in the big van. They'll maybe that'll help.
We have a standing joke because I don't know. I'm really good at getting permissions, and I think it's just because I'm a girl and it's less intimidating, And so we have this outstanding joke where I'll say, I'll go knock and I'll ask if I can, get permission and if my grandpa can come. And then I open up the car door and 6 guys get out with me and they say, how many grandpas do you have? So it's pretty funny.
I have a couple good digging buddies that, we always try to hook up together. So that's another thing I always tell you. Go on your local pages. If you don't have a digging buddy, you can find one pretty easy in your area. I've got several, and they've put me on some amazing stuff, and I'm just truly blessed to have them for friends because they're always inviting me out, and they good most of the time.
I love going out and detecting. I've said this before. One of my most memorable days detecting, I mean, I killed it. I found so much. I found Barber Quarter, Barber Dimes, Mercury Dimes. I found Three Merry Widows. I found V Nickel. I mean, it was an amazing, amazing dig. But it wasn't that fun because I was just by myself. And I wanted other people to be detecting and finding this stuff too and sharing that excitement. So I hardly ever go by myself because it's just not fun if I'm not out there with somebody to enjoy it with.
Yeah, I've got a good friend that he started a YouTube channel after we kind of did episodes on my channel, and I was like, why don't you start your do your own? You could do it if you're doing this, you could do your own. But anyway, his name's Dale, and his channel's like Digging with Dale is his channel. But he invited me out a couple weeks ago, and it was probably one of the better days. Besides on the Civil War spot where it's like bullet after bullet, this area had Civil War activity in it. Well, a lot. It's one of the main times with the main camp in it. But I found silver. I found Civil War bullets. I found a silver ring. I found a general service button, all in that one day, and it was just. He was looking a little like, I don't know if I'm going to invite you back. You're digging all my stuff.
That's one thing when I take people out, all I do is if I'm bringing them to a spot that I have, I just pray. I'm like, please let them find something. I don't want to not find it. I don't care if I don't find anything. I just want them to find something.
I took out Britton Lockhart here a while back. It was at the first of the year, and that's the way I was. I was guiding him, and I was like, please find something, please find something. So I took him where I found a few buttons. I was like, now this is I call it the button pit, and that's where I found 4 or 5 buttons. I was like, swing your detector over just to see if you can hear something that I miss. Because each detector will hit a little different, and I think Technetics or something like that. And sure enough, boom, he pulls out a infantry button. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's the same way. If I take somebody, I'm like, please find something. I want them to find. I want them to have a good time. That's what it's about.
Absolutely, that's how I feel too. So, do you belong to any metal detecting clubs or anything up there? I know you just said that you put on a hunt. Was that part of a club or?
We have a Facebook group. It's metal detecting for Arkansas diggers, and it's basically the whole day. And then we have a little chapter. I guess we'll call it our club, but it's Central Arkansas Unearthed. There's probably 20 or 30 of us, and we started doing a little seated hunt back back at the first part of the year when COVID hit, and we couldn't meet up anymore. And I started thinking, well, what can we do in the meantime? So everybody started hoarding and sending me coins and tokens and some silver and all kinds of good stuff to put out. We've got a little bit of acreage back here in Pines. And so I started seeding this area for a hunt. And I was lucky enough, a bunch of good friends sent me some stuff for prizes, and we had probably, I'm thinking 30 or 40 people show up the Sunday. We all social distance and had a lot of good fun out there. So we love doing. If you haven't ever done a seated hunt, I recommend it. It's something different. It's really fun. It's really, really fun.
It is a lot of fun. I've been to several. I mean, one of my favorite ones was when I went to the Rush to the Rockies. It was amazing. That was it was different because I'm from flatland and this is up on like a big hill, and we were like 10,000 feet up in the air elevation, and I'm not used to that. So my husband was on the sideline and he had this little thing of oxygen and I'd have to run over there and take some oxygen from it so that I could keep going. But it was different, and it's one of my favorite seated hunts. There's a close between that and the Garrett hunt. The Garrett hunt's really, really fun.
I posted, I think, on my Facebook yesterday. If anybody wants to get me anything for Christmas, here you go. I really would love to Garrett hunt. I have a good friend that goes, I think, about every year, and he's like, man, you go to that Garrett hunt. I was like, yeah, but it's in Texas and it's hard. I mean, I got so many responsibilities here. It's hard to get down there, but I would love to go.
It's an amazing hunt. There's so many people there. You meet I mean, a lot of people that I know on Facebook, through social media, I actually get to go and meet these people and actually get to know them outside of just a picture and talking on Facebook. And they just put on an incredible event. I mean, I love it from the beginning to the end of the event. It's almost like, man, I don't want to go back. And I make the big drive from Florida all the way over there, and it's a long drive, and I dread driving back, but on the way there, it seems to take no time because I'm so excited because that hunt is just so amazing. They do a great job with it.
I think it's probably what, 20 hours or more from you, from Orlando?
I think technically it's 14 hours, but I mean, when you start driving it, it ends up turning into 16 with the bathroom breaks and everything. Going through that panhandle is just ridiculous. Going through Alabama, Mississippi, we go through a part of Louisiana the way that we go. Yeah, of course. But going through those, we fly through those, but Florida is forever to get through Florida.
And yeah, we went to Orlando a bunch last year, and man, we always had those high hopes, so we're going to drive straight through. It never happened. I think we did one time. I was Iron Man on that one, but yeah, it's that drive.
But I agree with you. If somebody out there hasn't done a seated hunt, it's a lot of fun. It's not about the finds. It's about the meeting of friends, getting together, learning from other detectors. It's a lot of fun, and it's different than just going out to a park and detecting or to the beach or something. It's a lot of fun. Definitely.
Exactly. I have fun talking to everybody, and even with our little hunt we had the other day, I invited a few people that I've only met on Facebook that's in our local area. It's not really a part of our group, but I wanted, to invite, get more people together. More contacts you have, the more, fun you're going to have. So, and right. I just enjoy everybody together and meeting. It's one of my favorite parts of detecting.
Absolutely. Well, it's just about time for me to wrap this up. I've got a ton of stuff that I got to get knocked out. Maybe I can make it over and do some detecting from this hurricane if I get it knocked out. But I want to ask before I let you go, what would be your best advice that you could give to a new detectorist out there just getting into the hobby?
Well, first thing, don't get discouraged. A lot of the times people buy a machine and the first thing they think they're going to do is go out there and find gold coins and rings, and that's usually not the case. Don't right. get discouraged. Learn your machine. I don't care if it's the cheapest detector you can find or the best one. Learn your machine. Get used to it. Start in your yard. Start in your local area, and learn your machine, and just have fun. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. That's great advice. I just want to pop over here for a second. There's a comment by Edsel. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but it says Terry Causey and his wife Brenda do a great one seated hunt in Kentucky, the Moonshiners Treasure Hunt. I'm really good friends with Terry, and both times they put this hunt on, it eluded me because I had something else going on, and I'm hoping to get up there for his hunt next year, but I've heard nothing but raving reviews. So guys might want to check that out, the Moonshiners Treasure Hunt. So, well, that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining today, Mark, and you have a great day, and cheers.
See you later.
Bye-bye.